Hi y'all, this is Larry from Deep South Texas. It's early November and it's time for another garden update. So I've been harvesting okra to save for seeds for the last week, and here's an example of one that's ready to come off for that. So I'll pick that off and throw it in a coffee can, let it continue to dry out, and then harvest the seeds. But I have seeds from both the Crimson Spineless and the Burgundy okra. Way more seeds than I need. There's about enough seeds in one pod to do me. So it is November and the navel oranges are ready to pick. In fact, I've had several fall off, so it's time to get them harvested. I did come out and get one this morning that I had for breakfast. It was pretty good. Oddly enough, I have another watermelon that started to grow. I don't think it's going to make it, but I don't need the space till spring, so we'll see what it does. I have tomatoes growing. They're not doing particularly well, but they have had some flowers come on. So we'll see how they do. There really isn't enough sunlight for tomatoes, I don't think, but some eggplant, it seems to be doing real well. The Chinese cabbage is doing real well, as well as these other Chinese vegetables here, which I don't know what they are. The broccoli I planted in this bed really didn't come up. There's maybe one broccoli plant in there, so that was a no-go. And the cabbages I planted in this bed, a few of them have come up, but not very many. This idea of planting them in the cardboard tubes didn't work out well at all. Some bird or squirrel or something came and pulled up all the tubes. The sweet corn is growing, it's just not growing very fast. We'll see if it makes it before the first frost. So I planted carrots about a month ago, but hardly any of them came up. So now I have replanted, and I've got, a bunch of carrots coming up here, so we'll have something, not a huge harvest. And I planted some cucumbers on this trellis, and they're doing well, so I'm expecting to harvest some cucumbers yet this fall. I planted beans over on this side of the trellis and they came up, but something ate them all off, so I replanted some sugar snap peas in there. And I also have sugar snap peas coming up in these containers on this trellis. So a lot of them have come up, so they'll be climbing onto this trellis here shortly. I'm not seeing any spinach that's come up that was planted in this bed, and only a very few beets have grown. So not too successful there. But the turnips, lots and lots of turnips. I'll be picking some of them for greens and then letting some grow up as turnip roots. And then a pretty good showing on the curly mustard as well. The turmeric is doing real well. In fact, this plant has a couple flowers on them. So this will be ready to harvest sometime later this month. We'll get that on a video for you to see how that comes up. And we'll also be harvesting the ginger later on this month. And again, there's a couple ginger flowers in here. Let's see if I can get them on camera. There's one there, and another one there. Not quite as showy as the turmeric flowers, but they flower as well. Have some more eggplant over in this bed. They're growing well. And I've also replanted some cabbage plants into this bed. I had several cabbages come up from seed in this bed, but while I was out buying more broccoli, I bought some cabbages as well. So an update on the onions that I planted from seed. About half the bed seems to be doing pretty well. We have onions coming up. But the top half of the bed doesn't have very many onions in it at all. And I think that's because the ground slopes away from the house and runs this direction, and I think these onions up on this side of the bed just got too wet. So we'll be using our backup onions to replant in here. But the backup onions had their own problem. Some animal or bird, probably one of my chickens, got in here and started scratching around and scratched out about 1/3 of the onions. So there still looks like there's plenty here, but it doesn't look as nice as it did a week ago. So lots of backup onions. I put some chicken wire over the top of them to keep them from coming in here and scratching, but hopefully this is going to work out. The Moringa trees continue to grow well. Going to have expecting a real nice leaf harvest here sometime in December. Then we'll cut them back and get them covered up if there's a danger of a frost. And the 2 moringa trees that I'm growing from cuttings are both looking good. I've also started another bucket of leeks. I'll be planting those out in the spring. But got a bunch of those coming up, so very happy about that. Really enjoyed my leeks this year. They were a lot of fun. And my pineapple plant continues to grow. Maybe by the end of next year we'll see a pineapple on there, huh? What do you think? Well, that's it for this garden update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.